We have another championship match on deck. Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza. AJ, this is a rematch nearly 8 years in the making. A rematch where Carla Esparza is looking to get that belt that she once held. She was the inaugural UFC strawweight champion, I should say, after winning it on the Ultimate Fighter number 20, brother. So this is many, many moons ago. This is Angela Hill was on this Ultimate Fighter. This was a long, long time ago, right? So here they meet again. Rose Namajunas, very chiseled, veteran, savvy fighter, but Carla Esparza is too, brother. And here's the interesting thing. When it comes down to the experience, it's hard to believe Rose Namajunas is as good as she is, being that she is only 12-4 in her MMA career. Carla Esparza, 19-6, a lot more experience. I mean, she has some more losses too, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about what this matchup is going to entail, the archetype of this matchup. The archetype of this is a striker-grappler in Namajunas versus a wrestler in Carla Esparza. Now, AJ, I'm sure you've watched the first fight, Namajunas Esparza number 1. What happened in that fight? Rose Namajunas, who was being compared to Ronda Rousey, the next baddest woman on the planet, da-da-da-da-da. And what did Carla Esparza do? She just took her down and took her down again and took her down again. Did she do the most effective damage against Namajunas? No, not really. But she controlled the rounds. And she won the fight. And the thing that I wanted to think about on this one, AJ, is do you remember when Rose Namajunas fought Weili Zhang last, right? And she was basically, I thought this was a really close fight. It was back and forth. Zhang got some takedowns. Namajunas got some takedowns. But what edged it out, AJ? If we remember correctly, in the 5th round of that fight, Rose Namajunas, she blast double, took down Weili Zhang, won the fight. Did she have a lot of damage in the ground and pound? No. Did she control? Yes. And that's what won the fight. And this is what scares me, AJ. This is the reason partially why I think Esparza has a real shot to win this. Because she doesn't have to bloody up Namajunas. She doesn't have to damage her crazy. But if she can control her, maintain top control, and put her in a spot where it looks visually, optically like Esparza is winning, she could win the fight, bro. Like, I don't know how so many people are discounting Carla Esparza, thinking that Rose Namajunas is just going to mop the floor with her. So give me a counter argument right here. What can Rose Namajunas do to make this convincingly dominant on her edge? What can make it seem like Carla Esparza is no true challenger to the title on her end?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Derek, especially because in that first fight, I saw what you saw. I saw Carla Esparza coming in, taking her down, controlling the entire fight. Yeah. But one thing I noticed, and I think what was the biggest change right here, is Rose quit on herself. In that first fight, the mentality of Rose, you could see it, man. She was down. She was out, head down. She was very, very sad in what was going because you can tell she had a lot of hype, a lot of praise going in there. She quits on herself mid-fight, ends up getting finished, and then now she has to deal with the repercussions of that going forward. I think that fight really helped her learn a lot. So now going into this next one, especially like you said in the Weili Zhang fight, she knew she had to win this fight, win the points, win the fight through the judges, get the points, score the takedown, get the win, secure it however by all means, get that bag. Same thing with Carla Esparza. Now Carla, she has the wrestling advantage. We're all going to know that going in. Rose is going to know that going in. But and this is actually kind of leads into the exact question I was going to ask you, because Uncle Chael says that Rose Namajunas is her skills by overall haven't improved very much, but her mentality has, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing in this one. She's not going to fade in the fight. She's not going to be quitting on herself going into this one, whether Carla Esparza is able to get those dominating positions or not. I think Rose is going to be able to find a way out. She's been working a lot harder, a lot better, at least. I think her skills have improved. I'll leave that one to you if you think her skills improved or just her mentality like Uncle Chael or not. But I think they have, and I think she has a path in order to win, or her best path in order to win is going to be keeping it on the strikes and then taking it down whenever Carla thinks, oh, this is going to be a stand-up battle. I got this. Next thing you know, she's on her butt like, oh, no. I think that's going to be the one path that Rose has to be able to secure this win right there. What do you think?
It's interesting that you say that because when I look at the first fight to now, do I think Rose Namajunas has improved? Absolutely. Of course she has, right? But I think it's been subtle changes, right? I think the archetype, the mold is still the same. It's just been refined. I think that's really what it comes down to. Footwork is a lot better, I do think. Head movement, boxing, a lot better. Grappling, a lot better. But like I said, it's refined, and she hasn't had to use it in all of these scenarios. But this is my takeaway from this, man. I think you're right. I think that if Rose Namajunas uses grappling to her advantage and actually initiates takedowns on Esparza and puts Esparza on her back, I think it's going to come in as a little bit of a shock because that's not the game plan. But keeping the fight on the feet probably is the best way, because if Rose Namajunas keeps it on the feet against Esparza, I think that this could be an easy decision win. I think she could run away with this fight, no problem. But what have we seen time and time again is that Carla Esparza does not allow you to just stick around on the feet. She has a knack for finding that single, man. Her single is so deadly. So I wanted to actually look at it really quickly because I think this is going to be an interesting thing to pull up. When I look at Carla Esparza and I look at her last couple of fights, so she has 3 takedowns in her last fight against Yan Xiaonan, 5 takedowns against Marina Rodriguez, 1 takedown against Michelle Waterson, 4 against Alexa Grasso, 4 against Vina Jandiroba, against Tatiana Suarez, one of the best wrestlers in the strawweight division, who clearly has been injured for so long. She got taken down 9 times, brother. Wasn't able to register a single takedown. But that's the elite wrestler of the elite right there. You look at Claudia Gadelha, took her down twice. Cynthia Calvillo took her down twice. Marina Moroz took her down 6 times. Randa Marcos took her down 4 times. The last time that Carla Esparza didn't register a takedown in her UFC career was never, because she's registered a takedown in every single fight. It hasn't even been close. When she fought Namajunas the first time, 5 takedowns. So clearly she's able to take down everybody. That's not a problem. And since Wei Li was able to take down Namajunas a couple times pretty easily in that fight, it lends me to believe that Esparza is not going to have an issue with this. The issue is going to come if Namajunas can use her wrestling in the Justin Gaethje mold and say, listen, we're not going to go down on the ground. We're going to stick around on the feet. And under Trevor Whitman, I think that that's probably going to be the game plan, honestly, man. So clearly Esparza has to get the fight to the ground if she wants to win. That is clear through and through. But how much of a chance do you think she has on the feet against Rose Namajunas? Like, is it just outclassed? Is it too many levels above? Or what do you think?
No, I mean, she's always got the puncher's chance, man. Carla Esparza does have power. She has better striking. I wasn't going to say great striking. She can strike, but she has good technique, man. She can stay in there. Much more of a wrestler, obviously. If this ends up being a stand-up only match, I'd give her like a 35-40% chance. She's not completely out of the fight. We're not going to see a one-sided victory here, but we are going to see Carla Esparza with the less polished striking, if you will. She's still good, but not just Rose is on a different level with her striking. So like I'd say 35-40%. You agree with that, or are you seeing something different, Derek?
Brother, not to be rude, but I don't see it that way. I see Rose Namajunas a 95% chance of just mopping it up with Carla Esparza just solely on the feet. I think, yeah, Esparza could land the big bomb every now and then, but Rose Namajunas is such a skillful striker. Look at what she's done to Joanna Jędrzejczyk on two different occasions, right? Look at what she did to Jessica Andrade. Look what she did to Wei Li. I mean, brother, these are elite fighters, and on the feet, I mean, she's gotten the better of every single one of these fighters. Maybe not Andrade. Andrade really did kind of beat up Namajunas, especially in that second fight. But I just think that overall, man, like, she's deadly. Her flow state in her boxing is too crucial. Her kickboxing is too beautiful. Head kicks coming out of nowhere. So Esparza's going to have to be careful. And she's definitely going to have to be careful for a knee or a teep up the front when she's trying to shoot in for that takedown. But last thing that I wanted to compare before we talk props, UFC record for both of these fighters. 9-3 is Rose Namajunas. 9-4 is Carla Esparza. Just leave that, I'll leave that there. You know what I mean? I thought that was just a little bit interesting because they came in at the same time. I mean, they've had pretty similar careers. Namajunas has just had more high-level fights and championship fights. That's all. So, AJ, minus 200 is Rose Namajunas on the money line, plus 170 for Carla Esparza. But when we're talking about the tangible points, the tangible props, the ones that are important, it's points on this one. For Rose Namajunas, plus 175 on points, plus 255 for Carla Esparza on points. I like that plus 255, Carla Esparza on points. I love that. I think that is so much value right there because you're going from plus 170 to plus 255, just like that. And the outcome of this. I mean, let's look at methodologies of victory. Rose is more of a finisher. Two knockouts, 5 submissions, 4 decisions. For Esparza, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions, 10 decisions. What do you think, brother?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I actually like the points line as well, man. That is what'd you say for Namajunas on points?
For Rose, it's plus 175.
175. I mean, going from a minus 200 to plus 175, that's not bad at all, man. And that's what I'd go with as well. I'm going Namajunas by points. I think that's going to be the best way she gets it done, man. Staying loose, staying lucrative, keeping it on her feet, and just staying on that bike the whole time. Yeah. I see that as the most valuable if you're going Namajunas, because I agree with you. If you are going to Esparza and you are going to Esparza by points, that seems the best way for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I'm rocking. Esparza on points plus 255, folks. I'm going to check back in with you next week. I'm either going to be deadly right or deadly wrong. It's going to be one of the two, but I'm hoping I'm right. And I think Esparza can do it, man. I think she can do it because, once again, you don't have to damage, bloody, destroy your opponent because the way the judges have been seeing it recently, and hopefully, I mean, maybe it'll be different. This is Arizona, but this is in Vegas. But we have been seeing that, like, the person it goes like phases, right? It's like the person who's a heavy grappler, sometimes they give him way too much credit. Then sometimes they give him no credit at all. I'm hoping to give him some credit. So I'm picking the over on this one. The over is 4.5 rounds, brother. So we both rocking the over on this one?
Yeah, rocking the over.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, brother.